and welcome back to my film and TV channel. We've got a crime comedy to look at today. Yes, based on true events, this, and when you watch it, you can't really believe it. Well, you can. Different time. We're going back about 20-odd years with this for the actual story itself. This stars Channing Tatum as a real-life spree robber called Jeffrey Manchester. There you go, great name. Manchester, great name. So I like that name. There's a lot of Manchesters in the UK, in the US names, as in, oh, I know there's a Manchester in the USA, like there is in, of course, in the UK. But great name. Anyway, 15 certificate, 126 minutes, which is long, and but it works. It's an okay runtime, but it maybe feels slightly better. I say there's quite a lot of dramatic license used in this film, which I would have preferred a little bit different to what we get, but we'll talk about that. Tanya Hussein from Collider website said, with a career best Tatum at the centre and an ensemble that fills in every corner with warmth and wit, Roofman is one of this year's most pleasant surprises. Yes, but Odie Henderson, Boston Globe, isn't as kind. He said, the script by Kian France and Kurt Gunn spends way too much time on a romantic subplot filled with sitcom scenarios and uninteresting characters. They can't both be right. I don't think she liked it, but yeah, I'm more on side of the former rather than the latter, I must admit. Please, guys, before we have a quick look at this one, what other people are thinking, what I'm thinking about it, please hit that like button. It'd be great to have you on board. Please subscribe if you've not already done so. If you enjoy the content, yeah, fantastic. And you can give us some hype points if you've got any spare. That's the stuff on YouTube now for helps algorithms for the channel, etc. So if you can spare us any hype points if you enjoy the content, they'll be much appreciated, and a couple of ways to get in contact with me and support me later on as well. But we'll talk about this film first. If you can spare us a few moments at the end of this vlog, that'd be fantastic. What's it about? Well, it's based on an unbelievable true story. It is. Roofman follows Jeffrey Manchester, an army veteran and struggling father who turns to robbing McDonald's restaurants by cutting holes in the roofs. Yes, earning him the nickname Roofman. And the best bit is, after escaping prison, he secretly lives inside a Toys R Us for 6 months. You couldn't do that here now. We've not got. I think they're all shut down here in the UK. Do they still go in America? I don't know. I know a lot of them are shut down in the UK anyway. Surviving undetected in there while planning his next move, of course. But when he falls in love for Lee, a divorced mom drawn to his undeniable charm, his double life begins to unravel. You can't live in a Toys R Us and get on with a real love life with other people, can you? Surely not. Setting off a compelling and suspenseful game of cat and mouse as his past closes in. Yes, this is directed by, as mentioned before, Derek Cianfrance, and the film also stars the lovely, the wonderful, they're all lovely and wonderful, aren't they? But the lovely and wonderful Kirsten Dunst, Ben Mendelsohn, Lakeith Stanfield, Juno Temple, Maloney Diaz, Uzo Aduba, Lily Collias, Jimmy O Yang, and the wonderful, and I wanted to see more, but he was okay in this, Peter Dinklage. At least I could recognise him, not like in that last one I watched him, where he was a green monster, of course, in the one I've watched recently. This was released in the US on October the 10th. Check your territories, and I'm reviewing this here in the UK on the 16th of October 2025. My little thoughts on this: I think you've got a safe pair of hands in both the lead and the eventual love interest, of course, in Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst. I think the chemistry is excellent. Yeah, a little bit edgy sometimes, which is how it should be. I think Dinklage, of course, as I said, is excellent. I'd like to have seen a little bit more of him, but I think he was spot on for that role as well. He plays a nice sort of bad guy, but within that sort of, you can't help but like him, can you, when he plays a bad guy, whether he's green and monster or sort of running a Toys R Us. I possibly think the big problem I think with this is it's probably lighter than it should be. There's plenty, as I said earlier, of dramatic license use, but as an entertainment, as a film, it's really a nice, easy, pleasant watch. As someone said before, the critic, it was a pleasant surprise, although I had read positive reviews before I watched it, although they're not all positive. A lot of people have sat on the fence with this film. James Berardinelli of Real Views website said the movie makes a variety of changes to Jeffrey's story to make it more cinematic, but without the kind of narrative reworking needed to streamline the material, the result feels unfocused and shapeless. Just unless you know anything about the real story, it doesn't really matter so much to me. And I don't think it's refocused and shapeless. It's only sort of that if you sort of try and compare it to what actually happened. I mean, it's a sugary story, of course. It's far too sugary, perhaps for some, but it is an engaging watch. Though not without plenty of plot holes. There's things happening on here. I was thinking, even 20 years ago, surely that should have been picked up upon and all this sort of thing. But anyway, I would have liked a bit more, less or more believable in certain things that happen. But as I say, it's difficult to know. Would the film have worked if it had been darker? I think it would have done. But this is what we get. We get this film. We don't get a darker version, a bit more darker version of this sugary sweet side telling of the story, of course. So this is what we get. This is what we have to watch. This is what I'm watching. This is what I'm relating and reviewing. David Rooney from Hollywood Reporter said, this is a kind of disarming crowd pleaser for which cringe-inducing cliches like it will sneak up and steal your heart were invented. What's refreshing about Roofman is that it's never too aggressive about it. It's sentimental but sincere. Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a bit more aggressiveness. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have minded a little bit darker, and I think it would have worked. Perhaps not with Channing. Perhaps we might have needed some other guy as the lead, but I wouldn't have minded a bit more aggressiveness, as I said, although I did enjoy it, I'd say, for what it is. Sophie Butcher from Empire magazine, she liked it as well. She said, Derek Cianfrance delivers a hugely emphatic, very entertaining depiction of an extraordinary life, featuring one of Channing Tatum's best performances. Expect laughs, tears, and noughties nostalgia. Yes, that's just, yeah, it is an extraordinary life, and it was extraordinary, the film, but you just got the feeling it could have been a bit more extraordinary. I think there's more to his life than we get, but it makes you, perhaps, as I do with a lot of films, if I enjoy a film and it's based on true events, I actually go back and read a little bit about the true events, and this has made me want to go out and read a little bit more about this. I haven't done that yet, but I'm hoping there's something a bit more juicy to this that the film's missed out. And that need to go out and discover a little bit more means perhaps the film's not give you the information, or you're just that interested in the film you do want to find out about the real thing. So it can be a good and bad thing. Finding out about this one for me is probably in a good way. And we do get a good story, I think, but perhaps not the full story. That's makes me think it could have been a little bit better. What are others thinking? Well, Rotten Tomatoes like it. 148 critics, 125 fresh, 23 rotten. So make that 126 fresh. I'm going to be fresh on this. The website consensus says a disarmingly sweet tonal gear shift for director Cianfrance. Roofman is a shaggy as a narrative, but expertly tailored to Channing Tatum's strengths as an eminently likeable leading man. So, yes, I say, it could have been darker, perhaps with some other actor rather than Tatum. Metacritic scored is 65 out of 100, which is okay. 32 critics, 19 were positive, but 13 mixed. So, yeah, there's a lot of people on the fence on this one. But no negatives, that's good. So let's make that 20 positives. I'm not going to sit on the fence, I liked it. Rotten Tomatoes audience, 4.2 out of 5, that's good. Metacritic users, 6.4 out of 10, that's good. And where it all matters, where a lot of people put their views and scores, Internet Movie Database, 4,300 scores and reviews as I'm doing this. And it's getting a very healthy 7.2. I'd imagine it's going to stick around that mark for its lifetime, perhaps go down to around 7. And that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. As I said, it could have been more, but it wasn't. I can only mark what I saw, and I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. The 2 hours passed very quickly, although, as I said, they probably could have utilised that time a little bit better. But I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you think, guys. Great to have your views and opinions. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please, if you've hit those buttons and you also want to contact me, you can contact me here through YouTube or any of my socials. And for finding out ways of doing that, you can actually, if you just stay listening and watching for a few moments, I can tell you ways of contacting me, my other social sites, and of course, how you can help support the channel if you like the content. Thanks for watching, guys. Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please like, give us a thumbs up, and if you've not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you've not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And as ever, guys, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, everyone.